Marketing can be especially difficult when we don't know what to say to our target audience, but there's actually a very simple, straightforward, and effective process that we use that can show you how to determine which message to put in front of your audience. So stay tuned. We're going to dive into this process. You can apply it yourself, or you can reach out to us for help. But regardless, I'm going to show you exactly how you can figure out exactly what your audience wants to learn. One of the mistakes that I've made way too many times in years past, and I've seen dozens, if not hundreds of clients make this mistake, is they believe that they know what their audience thinks and what their audience wants. And the reason that it's easy to fall into this trap is some of us start a business that solves our own problems to start. I've done that in years past of just focusing on a solution for something that I had a problem for. And in that case, you do have a pretty good insight into what your audience wants and thinks because you are your audience. But in a very short time, even if you continue to serve that niche, it's going to shift and change. And if your business is growing, your focus is on your business. And so it's easy to lose touch with what the audience is actually thinking, what they want. And so it's really dangerous. So stop thinking you know what your audience thinks, because if you make those assumptions all the time, you might get lucky, but you won't know why you got lucky. And you will fail a lot without a methodology or a process or system that's going to help you uncover the truth. The other thing I would ask you to do is stop listening to any quote unquote marketing gurus who don't use data to prove what they believe to you. Just because they did it in somebody else's business, just because they did it in another space, doesn't mean it's going to work for your specific business, even if it's a similar industry. And so anybody that's not using data to steer you towards what you should be doing is not paying attention to the most important numbers, which are who saw this, who clicked through, what was their engagement, were they really interested in it? And so one of the processes that we do for almost all of our campaigns now is something called message testing. And we take dozens, if not hundreds of different headlines and messages, and we create really simple ads on Facebook. They're just black text on a yellow background, and it says whatever the headline is. And so we'll run multiples of those. I would recommend running at least 50 headlines, if not more. There's some cases where we're doing a few hundred. And when you run those, you can just have people click to a thank you page that says, we'll let you know when the product is ready, or the service is ready, or the training, or whatever you're advertising. And you can very quickly just determine what are people going to click. And that should drive what you call the product, the ads that you run. It'll also give you a good indication of what age groups and genders and other interests are clicking through on a headline. And that will give you a good sense of, what to deliver to them. So with tools like Facebook, there's other ones, but Facebook is often the fastest and cheapest and most effective to learn this. With a tool like Facebook, you can very quickly put your message in front of an audience with no distractions, just the text. And on the yellow image is what we typically do, a yellow background. And that will allow you to very quickly see, oh, people click, more when there's this word in the headline, or people click through on this concept, or this age range, 35 to 50 is the biggest group that's clicking on this title. So when I advertise, I can note that, and target differently for different ages. There's so many ways when you're running this that you can gather real data from the audience that you want to serve. And then once you've determined here's the winning headline, or here's, 2 or 3 of them, that's how you can then build your offer, build the value, and build all the retention from there. Because if you determine this age group is clicking through on this headline, now you know how to build your whole sales funnel and everything behind that. But too often, because I've done in the past, and it's still something that I have to always watch for, too often we get this brilliant idea that we think is brilliant. We're sure it's going to work. We spend a bunch of time building an offer. We build a funnel, we build a website, we build a landing page, and then we launch it and nobody's interested. And it's because we didn't start with the most important thing, which is to start the relationship with your audience. That's why here at Business Marketing Engine at BME, we believe like relationships first. It's always about how do we start the relationship with our audience? How do we engage with them? How do we help you engage with your audience? Because if we determine these are the things they're interested in, it's a lot easier to say, well, they keep clicking around how to avoid, back pain. we can create our product with our chiropractor that says, here's 3 simple things you can do to eliminate back pain. We know that's what they want. But if we, are just making assumptions and we're running an ad in that channel that says, take care of your body, invest in your health, keep your spine in great shape, whatever the other language is, if we just run with something like that and there's no data to prove that that's what people click on or that's what people want, then we end up spending a bunch of time and money on something that doesn't matter. So we always encourage our clients to look at the data first, and then we always run message testing like this in almost all of our campaigns now. And it allows us to very quickly shortcut the guessing and trying and failures of just assuming that either we know or our client knows what the right message is. So all of this to say today, make sure that you have data that proves what you're doing in marketing and not just people's intuition, because your intuition can be wrong on this. Ours can be whoever you're working with as a marketing professional. If they're not actually showing you data of what gets clicked more and who's clicking it from a targeting standpoint, and they're not running continually as needed running these tests, then you're going to end up getting off track with your marketing message, and you will struggle a lot. So if you need any help with this, we'd love to help you. Even if you have a campaign running and you just want a second set of eyes on it, we can do some message testing. We can take a look at what things are going right for you that can be maximized, and we can take a look at things that should be eliminated because they're wasting your time and your money. You can reach out to us at businessmarketingengine.com. I appreciate you taking time to tune in today and look forward to seeing you on next week's show.